10. Hygiea. Hygiea is one of the largest main-belt asteroids located between Mars and Jupiter. It was discovered on April 12, 1849, by Italian astronomer Annibale de Gasparis and named after the Greek goddess of health, cleanliness, and hygiene. Here are 10 facts about Hygiea. Hygiea is the fourth largest asteroid in the asteroid belt, with a diameter of approximately 433 kilometers. It has an irregular shape and a heavily cratered surface, indicating that it has undergone a lot of collisions in the past. Hygiea's orbit is tilted by about 3.8 degrees with respect to the plane of the solar system, making it one of the most tilted asteroids known. The asteroid takes 5.6 years to complete one orbit around the Sun. Hygiea has a low density, suggesting that it is a loosely packed rubble pile rather than a solid body. It has a relatively high albedo, which means that it reflects a lot of sunlight. Hygiea is believed to be the parent body of the Hygiea family of asteroids, which share similar orbits and compositions. The asteroid has been studied by several spacecraft, including the Infrared Space Observatory, the Herschel Space Observatory, and the Dawn mission. In 2019, the International Astronomical Union, IAU, reclassified Hygiea as a dwarf planet, making it the smallest dwarf planet in the solar system. Hygiea's discovery was significant because it was the first asteroid to be discovered through photographic means rather than by visual observation. Based on spectral evidence, Hygiea's surface is thought to consist of primitive carbonaceous materials similar to those found in carbonaceous chondrite meteorites. Aqueous alteration products have been detected on its surface, which could indicate the presence of water ice in the past which was heated sufficiently to melt. The primitive present surface composition would indicate that Hygiea had not been melted during the early period of solar system formation, in contrast to other large planetesimals like 4 Vesta. However, observations in 2019 suggest Hygiea had suffered a head-on collision which had disrupted it, with its reaccretion resulting in its present spherical shape. No deep basins are visible in the VLT images, indicating that any large craters must have flat floors, consistent with an ICC-type composition. In images taken with the Very Large Telescope imager in 2017, a bright surface feature is visible, as well as at least 2 dark craters, which have been informally named Serpens and Calyx after the Latin words for snake and cup, respectively. Serpens has a size of 180 kilometers, Calyx is about 90 kilometers in diameter. Hygiea is the largest of the class of dark C-type asteroids that are dominant in the outer asteroid belt, beyond the Kirkwood Gap. Hygiea has an average diameter of 434 plus or minus 14 kilometers. While early studies have found a noticeably oblate shape with a semi-major axis ratio of 1.11, much more than for the other objects in the Big Four, 2 Pallas, 4 Vesta, in the Dwarf Planet series, recent results indicate that Hygiea is more spherical, with an axis ratio of 1.06, consistent with a Maclaurin ellipsoid. Aside from being the smallest of the Big Four, Hygiea, like Ceres, has a relatively low density, which is more comparable to the icy satellites of Jupiter or Saturn than to the terrestrial planets or the stony asteroids. Although it is the largest body in its region, due to its dark surface and farther than average distance from the Sun, Hygiea appears very dim when observed from Earth. In fact, it is the third dimmest of the first 23 asteroids discovered, with only 13 Egeria and 17 Thetis having lower mean opposition magnitudes. At most oppositions, Hygiea has a magnitude of around plus 10.2, which is as much as 4 orders fainter than Vesta, and observation calls for at least a 4-inch, 100 mm, telescope to resolve. However, at a perihelic opposition, Hygiea can reach plus 9.1 magnitude and may just be resolvable with 10 by 50 binoculars, Unlike the next two largest asteroids in the asteroid belt, 704 Interamnia and 511 Davida, which are always beyond binocular visibility. A total of 17 stellar occultations by Hygiea have been tracked by Earth-based astronomers, including 2, in 2002 and 2014, that were seen by a large number of observers. The observations have been used to constrain Hygiea's size, shape and rotation axis. The Hubble Space Telescope has resolved the asteroid and ruled out the presence of any orbiting companions larger than about 16 kilometers, 9.9 miles, in diameter. Orbiting at an average of 3.14 astronomical unit from the Sun, Hygiea is the most distant of the big four asteroids. It lies closer to the ecliptic as well, with an orbital inclination of 4 degrees. Its orbit is less circular than those of Ceres or Vesta, with an eccentricity of around 0.12. Its perihelion is at a quite similar longitude to those of Vesta and Ceres, though its ascending and descending nodes are opposite to the corresponding ones for those objects. Although its perihelion is extremely close to the mean distance of Ceres and Pallas, a collision between Hygiea and its larger companions is impossible because at that distance they are always on opposite sides of the ecliptic. In 2056, Hygiea will pass 0.025 astronomical unit from Ceres, and then in 2063, Hygiea will pass 0.020 astronomical unit from Pallas. At aphelion, Hygiea reaches out to the extreme edge of the asteroid belt at the perihelia of the Hilda family, which is in a 3:2 orbital resonance with Jupiter. As one of the most massive asteroids, Hygiea is used by the Minor Planet Center to calculate perturbations. Hygiea is in an unstable three-body mean motion resonance with Jupiter and Saturn. The computed Lyapunov time for this asteroid is 30,000 years, indicating that it occupies a chaotic orbit that will change randomly over time because of gravitational perturbations by the planets. It is the lowest numbered asteroid in such a resonance, the next lowest numbered being 70 Panopea. Hygiea has a rotation period of about 13.8256 hours, determined from observations with the VLT in 2017 and 2018. Its single-peaked light curve has an amplitude of 0.27 mag, which is largely attributed to albedo variations. As of September 2019, the direction of Hygiea's rotation is not known, due to a twofold ambiguity in light curve data that is exacerbated by its long rotation period, which makes single-night telescope observations span at best only a fraction of a full rotation, but it is believed to be retrograde. Light curve analysis indicates that Hygiea's pole points towards either ecliptic coordinates, beta, lambda, equals 30 degrees, 115 degrees, or 30 degrees, 300 degrees, with a 10 degrees uncertainty. This gives an axial tilt of about 60 degrees in both cases.